Alright, welcome to Gracklecast number 5. Switching things up a little bit this week by playing Adam Zombie Smasher instead of FTL. Pulled my shoulder recently and my arm's been giving me a little bit of trouble, so I won't be playing as long tonight probably. But that's okay because Adam Zombie Smasher isn't an incredibly lengthy game, especially if we're playing a normal campaign. So, basic idea with this game by Blendo Games is that it is Nuevos Aires in 1960. A zombie outbreak is starting, and I'm in charge of Orbital Command, defending against the Z threat. And in the midst of all of this, there's also going to be some really weird vignettes, shaking things up a bit. So, for the starting mission, all I'm going to be able to do is evacuate people. Just sort of a training type of deal. We've got to try and get as many of these yellow dots, as many of these civvies out as possible before the zombies eat them all. So the helicopter sends off a foghorn and picks up as many civilians as possible until it fills up, at which point it will take off, or if the zombie horde gets too close, it will automatically take off to avoid getting caught up by the zombies. As you can see, as the zombies eat civvies, it makes more zombies, making things rather difficult. And then it turns to night, and you get a whole bunch of Zeds coming in from everywhere. And the helicopter can only fill up so fast. As soon as that zombie there reaches it, it's gonna have to take off. Yep, there we go. Alright, so I met my goal for the mission. But obviously the rest of those guys are dying before the helicopter comes back. And your mercenaries that you employ in this get experience for successfully doing things in the mission, which lets them level up and do their thing better. And so we get the victory track down here. Both sides get points after each mission and unlock certain things depending on how many points they've gotten, and the first side to get to 6,000 wins. Alright, so now I'm getting my first extra bit of mercenaries. I'm getting some infantry to help me out. I get some points for territory that I control, and then new infections start. So we've got to evacuate these places. Now if you can kill all of the zombies before nightfall, then you liberate the territory entirely. You're good. But that's really hard to pull off, at least at first, when you don't have much in the way of mercenaries, and they aren't very upgraded. So as you can see, these infantrymen can shoot these zombie guys, but they can't kill them all very fast, and they don't move very fast. They did get rid of everybody coming out of that one Z activation point there. But they're not going to kill the rest of the Z before nightfall. They can help me keep as many civilians as possible safe. And thankfully, the infantry themselves are not in any danger of getting killed by Zeds, because they've got dogs with them. Anti-zombie dogs, basically. So basically, we've got all of the remaining survivors mostly bunched up in this area, and it's a matter of trying to keep the zombies away from them until we can evacuate them. Because if zombies get to a big... Oh, you can see it right there. If they get to a big, packed up area of civilians, then they'll all die pretty fast. Still rescued plenty that time, and as you can see, the infantry get experience for kills. Got a little bit better rating that time. Though I'm still trailing the zombies a bit. Okay, now I'll get me some landmines. As you can see, the zombies get points for infested territories every turn as well. Alright, so we are going to evacuate another place. So we are going to take advantage of some landmines here. In order to try and thin out the zombie forces a bit faster. While my infantry don't have to worry about getting killed by the Zed, they still have to worry about getting blown up. So I need to make sure that they don't get too close to those landmines. Now, the trick is that buildings in this are destructible, which means I can use landmines like I just did to open up ground and give my infantry better shots. I've actually killed most of the zombies in this one already, thanks in part to those landmines. I might even be able to liberate this area if those infantry can get a move on, and the zombies don't spread out too much. Looking good. Come on, get a move on, guys. You can do it. Shoot the zombies. Kill them. There we go. Victory. So I managed to kill all the zombies before nightfall, so the zone is completely liberated. And my evac helicopters got a level. And yes, even landmines get experience. So what I can do now is bump up their arrival time so that they get on scene faster. Or I could bump up their load time so that they can get civilians on board more quickly. So I get a nice payoff in points for that, and the Zed don't get any. And I get victory points every month for capturing that territory. Here we go, artillery. Alright, so I'm starting to take the lead against the zombies. You'll notice each time that we go to a new turn, some sort of special effect is in place. Last time it was slower zombie movement, which helped. This time it's increased helicopter speed, which also helps. They aren't always so helpful. And we get a vignette. Here, Adele Deering hands dynamite to Asa. Asa Willingdon primes the charges. And the timed charges tick-tock down the halls of Orbital Command. Hear that? That's the sound of retribution in the air. Alright, so you notice that when the same zone gets multiple effects on it randomly from the zombies, then it turns into a more difficult outbreak level, which becomes more difficult, but also rewards more points. But we are still getting mercenaries in, so we are going to stick to some of the easier ones. So once again, I have landmines. Which I can place to thin out the zombies. And I have my infantry. But I also have artillery, and I want to keep the artillery well away from where the zombies are coming in, because A, it has a minimum firing distance, and B, if that building gets destroyed for any reason, I lose the artillery. So, here we go. Now, artillery has a little bit of a travel time there. As you can see, it takes a while for it to reload, and it takes a while for the artillery shot to land. Alright, zombie's gonna hit that landmine and probably cause a couple of civilians to die in the blast. Yep. But the important thing is all the zombies died. So we've got another helicopter upgrade. Still no upgrades for any of my zombie killing mercenaries yet, but that's okay. Bring that arrival time down a bit more. And lots more points for us on the victory track. Alright, so this time, got me some sharpshooters. 246 Opal Pumas. So as you can see, things are going pretty well for Team Orbital Command, Team Nuevos Aries. Alright, and this time we have a longer daytime effect. Which, now that we've got a good deal of mercenaries and such, might be a good time to try out a level 2 outbreak. Alright, so as you can see, this is a higher level outbreak, so we're getting more zombies coming in from more directions. It'll be tricky to try and kill all of them before we hit daylight. Whoops. Oh, that's right, I'm only allowed 4 mercenaries, so I don't have my snipers. I wonder if it'll let me switch that right now. Doesn't look like it. Alright, so I'll have to wait until next time to show off the snipers. Let's see. That's the best way to do this. These areas. Hard to know where to put the first helicopter down. Probably over here. As you can see, I can reduce the game speed dramatically. to give myself a little bit more time to aim. Alright, this is turning a little nasty. Gotta try and get those civvies away from the zombies so that they don't all get eaten and turned into more zombies that I then have to kill. Not that that's going incredibly well. I don't think I'm gonna manage to liberate this territory. I think a few too many zombies running around for that. Oh god. Yep, just lost a bunch of cities there. A bit rusty, it's been a while. Not killing zombies as well as I should. Not aiming the artillery as well as I should be. Alright, here comes nightfall. So obviously at this point I'm not liberating the zone. I have to settle for trying to get the last few cities out safely, which is going to be a trick. Only 2 of them left. Nope, they got eaten. Alright. Not too bad. Then I got an upgrade for my infantry, which I'm going to boost up their accuracy, because boy howdy do I need them to kill things faster. Okay, so I have unlocked research labs, which means in cities now there will be scientists that I can rescue in order to get tech points, in order to get bonuses for my various mercenaries and such. Okay, so now I have to worry about faster Zed during the next one. Definitely not the time to go for a level 2 infestation. So, I start out with a few points, but not enough to buy anything, but as you can see, do different things like increase the cabin size in helicopters, increase experience gain for my mercenaries, scientists run faster, artillery fires more shots. Artillery is a big winner from research in this game. Once you get a bunch of research, the artillery becomes really nasty. At any rate, let us tackle an easier outbreak here, since the Zed are going to be moving fast. Alright, so what have I got this time? I've got a Zed beacon. What this does is it attracts all the Zed within its radius. I've got my snipers. Basically, snipers target a cone, which you can adjust during the fight, but it takes time. And they will slowly pick off Zed within that cone. And we've got the artillery. Alright, so start off by using some Z bait to get the Z to focus in on that area, which will make it a bit easier for the artillery to target them. Like so. As you can see, snipers, at least on their own, aren't nearly as effective as infantry, sadly. And you see this blue dot right here, that represents a scientist. I'm gonna reposition my snipers. Ah, crap. One zombie slips past you, and it's all gone. Alright, let's restart this. We're gonna reposition the snipers a little bit. So on the one hand, snipers are very accurate. They will, every few seconds, guaranteed kill a Z, unlike the infantry, who will often miss. But on the other hand, they're really slow. They get faster with experience, though. They actually get much better if you can get them leveled up a bit. Alright, so let's try and pick up the last few here. Where's that last? Oh, there he is. Okay, well, he's screwed. He is utterly screwed. Sorry, guy. But we met the minimum rescue goal, and we got a scientist out of there, so could be worse. And another upgrade for the helicopter. Let's bring that arrival time down even further. Okay, and now we have, this is actually a really handy mercenary right here. This is the barricades. These are indestructible and redivert zombie traffic, which you can use to focus them into a killing zone for the benefit of, say, your infantry or your snipers. This time we get an increased helicopter speed, not bad, not huge. Moving game, while flying on a business trip, Animal Smith spills his orange juice. Two children seated behind him laugh. Cool it, Smith. You're not going to get mad this time. You always let yourself get angry. You always let yourself look foolish. But not this time, champ. Alright, so as we can see over here, we have, for this next one, artillery, Z-bait, and barricades to work with. Not my preferred array of mercenaries, but you work with what you have. So the trick with barricades is that you can't use them to completely close off an avenue of zombies. You can't use it to stop them from getting anywhere, because that would make things too easy, obviously. But what you can do is use it to make sure that they are funneled along a long corridor. Hopefully giving you more time, cutting them off from civilians that are, from clumps of civilians, say, that sort of thing. Gonna make use of the Z bait here. They're really handy with snipers and infantry, but even without those, they still have their uses. That's it. Draw the Z in there. That's a nice one. I don't think I'm going to be able to liberate this place because I can't kill them off fast enough with this low-level artillery, especially with this inaccurate low-level artillery. But I can rescue plenty of folk, so that's something. Close, but no cigar. At least we can get some experience for the artillery before this is all over with. Not my most glorious outing, but I've had worse. Alright, and there's level 2 artillery, that's something. So, we are going to reduce that impact time because it's kind of hard to lead the zombies by 7 seconds. Alright. So, the zombies reached a milestone, which means we have to worry now about larger Z outbreaks. And I've got another mercenary. This time we have remote detonated charges. And they're letting us take a total of 5 mercenaries now. Okay. No, looks like we're still at 4. So we've got infantry, landmines, and dynamite. Alright, so now all of the new ones coming in are level 2, which is going to get things nasty in a short period of time. We do have longer daylight for this one. And it would be really nice to get some more research done. So let's hit a level 2 zone. Alright, let's see. So we can set up landmines along this invasion corridor, which, if we're lucky, might end up blowing some buildings. I want to try and get as many scientists as possible onto the evac helicopter first thing. They're the most critical right now. Now then, for the remote charges. You will get secondary explosions in this game, so we're going to set the dynamite a ways back from the landmines. The trick is that when you hit the explosion button for the dynamite, it all goes off at once. So you want to try and position it in places where you will have zombies at all locations simultaneously, which is tricky as you might expect. Crap, we just lost a scientist. Yeah, well, can't win them all. There's huge swaths of cities down there. Ouch. Damn. This is not going well at all. In fact, I think I'm gonna have to restart this. Because I don't think I'm coming out of this with the... Nope, not coming out of that with the requisite number of rescues. Okay, so reassessing things. All right, let's try this out. Come on, scientists, get over there. Damn it. Damn it. Didn't see that zombie right there. Ay, ay, ay. This is part of the problem. Survivors go running off in random directions, and so it's hard to grab them. Should be able to get enough out of here. Got 3 out of 5 scientists so far. Gotta try and get that last scientist on board. Preferably before night falls and keeping zombies away from the survivors becomes a Herculean task. Alright, here comes nightfall. Good, we got 4 out of 5 scientists at least. Okay, and a level 4 infantry. Let's see. Let's give them a speed boost so that they can reposition faster. as I run them around the map frantically trying to keep survivors safe, well, it will work a little bit better. Alright, so now we've unlocked the catbird cannon, special weapon that we get after rescuing certain numbers of civilians. So you see I've got a pretty good lead on the zombies, but they're gaining a lot more points from territories than I am. Okay, shorter daytime, less Zed. And we're gonna have snipers, barricades, dynamite. That could work out fairly well. And we can research a new thing. Okay. Let's grab, I don't have artillery right now, but let's grab that artillery mod. Because that really improves the effectiveness of artillery. Let's go for another level 2 zone. Okay, so the question is, where can we most effectively use barricades in order to direct the enemy? And if we put one there, we can force these Zed to take a roundabout path up here into the kill zone of the snipers. And we can put one there to keep these Zed in that kill zone for longer. Now I'm going to need to be careful with positioning this dynamite, because if I destroy that building that the snipers are sitting on, well, that'll get rid of my snipers. And likewise, if I destroy the wrong buildings and open up a path for the Zed, then I can quickly render my barricades somewhat useless. Now, where are my scientists at? A little bit more centered than they were. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so catbird cannon, you see this little counter down here. Every time I kill Zed or rescue civilians, that counter fills up. And when it gets all the way full, then I can unleash the catbird upon my enemies. Okay. Not a whole lot of Zed this time due to the midnight sun effect, but with how fast daylight is burning away, well, I might get it. Yes! That was lucky. Alright. So, got an upgrade for barricades, which gives me more barricades to place, which is always handy. The more you have, the more effective they are. Nice big benefit there. And now, approximately once a year, they're going to give me access to the orbital elephant bird super cannon. So we are well on our way to victory here. So now we get to test out the elephant bird. Another vignette here. Tabahara says goodbye to his grandparents for the last time. Grandma hugs him tightly. Grandpa doesn't recognize him. More Zed dropping down. Now we have a level 4 outbreak, which, for one, spreads out to all of the surrounding territories. And 2 means there aren't any survivors in that section of the city. When you use the elephant bird cannon, it's the only mercenary you get, so it's a great time to go after a level 4 zone, because all you have to do is destroy things very fast. So new research unlocked here. If you want to make the elephant bird better, you can. Not really worth it most of the time because A, the elephant bird is nasty already, and B, you only get it very infrequently. Alright, Alright, Elephant Bird Cannon, level 1 Moko Bombard. Just need to make sure we place this in a relatively safe zone of the map. We don't have to worry about it not being able to hit anything or getting blown to pieces. And in order to win this, all I have to do is destroy all of the Zed before nightfall. So, let's get to work. So, Elephant Bird is basically super artillery. It fires multiple shots, it lands quickly, it reloads quickly. And it generally makes things very toasty dealing with the Zed. And I also can still charge the Catbird, which unleashes a big bombardment on a single spot on the map. So between those two things, as you can see, killing a bunch of Zed in a minute isn't all that big a deal. Completely destroys the city, but hey. And the nice thing about level 4 outbreaks is that you get a huge amount of research points for successfully completing them. Not a whole lot of victory points as you would get from, say, successfully liberating a level 2 or level 3 place, but a lot of scientists. And it's considered a captured territory. So that goes to counting towards my side from now on. So that's more stuff going. The next milestone I get the Llama Bomb. Finally, at that milestone I get to carry an additional mercenary, which is always helpful. Next milestone I have to worry about here is gas line ruptures. We'll see that after a few more missions when the Zed have more stuff. Alright, so got another level 4 outbreak here, but we don't have the Elephant Bird this time. So probably not a good thing to go after with my current roster. But I got a bunch of points I can spend on stuff, so that us bump up the helicabin, get it up to 40. And I could boost up the merc training rate, but I'm not too worried about that. It'd be different if I were playing a game where I could actively choose which mercenaries I was using, because then I could focus on leveling up a few mercenaries into experts. This time, not so much. So we're just going to save the rest of those research points for now. So you've got artillery, bait, and dynamite. It's not exactly the best setup for taking out a bunch of Zed, especially when they're moving faster than normal. So we are going to aim for a level 1 zone, even though we won't get much in the way of scientists out of this. We'll have a better shot at actually being able to liberate a zone this way. Piece of dynamite. Might as well drop it there to try and open up some stuff. Won't place the Zed bait right away. So if I can open things up between all these buildings, I can draw a lot more Zed into the kill zone, theoretically, although unfortunately, as you can see. Oh, I forgot I have 2 shots now. Silly me. Alright, we're gonna have to restart that, and I'm gonna have to be less silly. Doobie-doobie-doobie-doo. need to rethink this setup. Position the helicopter a little bit further away from the Z, I suppose. Faster Z is making this a little bit tricky with me limited to artillery for my reusable killing implements. Probably not going to be able to liberate this zone, unfortunately. I'll at least be able to get a bunch of civvies out, though. That's something. Not gonna manage to rescue anymore. Might be able to get a few more Z kills in. Yep. Alright, so that could have gone better, but I was working with what I had. Upgrades for my helicopter and my artillery, though. Gonna keep boosting that arrival time. I want to bring down the reload time on the artillery. Alright, so now we have gas lines ruptured. What this means is that there are going to be some buildings that I have to worry about exploding massively when they get hit by explosions. Which is something that you can use to your advantage, but you also have to watch out for because it can either open up zones that you weren't expecting to be open up, or it can kill your people if they're too close to an explosion. But we do have slower Z movement this time around. And we've got infantry, landmines, and artillery, which is a pretty nice combination. So, we are going to go for a level 2 zone and see if we can maybe liberate it. So as you can see, these red buildings, when they're destroyed, trigger massive explosions. So if I were to, say, place a landmine right next to this one, and I may well do that, and when it goes off, that whole area is going to go up. Which means I gotta be careful about where I place my landmines in relation to my other units, and I want to make sure that my artillery is well away from any dangerous explosions. And as always, we'll be doing our best to get those scientists out of harm's way as fast as possible. Which is going to be a little bit difficult given the positioning of the buildings. instructive. Thank God we're dealing with slower Z here. And victory. So we've liberated the zone, got 5 scientists out. All well and good. Gets us a lot of points, unlocks our llama bombs, which can be used to destroy multiple Z territories in one fell swoop. An extinction level bioweapon. Now, if the Z get up to 2,500, which they probably will, but with how fast I'm gaining points you never know, then we run into Z mutates, which are giant Z. And this time we're going to be running with snipers, barricades, and dynamite. New vignette. Didn't we already get this one? Yeah, we already got this one. Alright, so we have 2 payloads of llama bombs, and this will clean out all territories within a certain radius. So we can drop one there, clear the Z out of that area, and drop one here to clean out those places. Buys us some time against the Z gaining a bunch of points for territories, and we can increase the payload by buying it with research, but kind of like the elephant bird, it's not really worth spending that much on it when it comes up so infrequently. We are going to boost up the catbird though, because you have that available in every fight, and getting it faster is really helpful when you've got a selection of mercenaries that's a little bit lackluster for finishing off a bunch of Z. Such as the group of mercenaries we're working with right now. So we're going to go for a level 2 outbreak. Alright, so... three barricades. Gives us some additional options. Can at least force the Z from over on the right side to travel down this long corridor. On the other hand, what would be really handy with all the scientists over on the left side of the map for the most part. It would be good if we could force the Z into a zone where our snipers can try and pick them off. Hopefully that will help us get most of the scientists out alive. one scientist. 2. This is not good. I miscalculated. Oh, snap. Let's try this again. Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. It's really hard sometimes to get your snipers in a good position since their cone is so narrow. I'm gonna lose that scientist over there probably. Nothing I can do about that. If I can get 4 scientists out of here, though, I'm willing to call that a victory. Come on, snipers, you want to kill that guy. Shoot him. It can sometimes be really hard to get snipers to kill the Zed you need them to kill. Alright, catbird away. There. Oh snap, I lost my snipers. Targeted that catbird a little bit too close to a gas main. Let's see if I can get that 4th scientist onto the helicopter. Good, excellent. And now everybody else is probably screwed because it's nighttime and they're right near the edge of the map. But at least I got 4 of the scientists out of there. And one last guy gets eaten. Alright. It could have gone better. Luckily, when a group of mercenaries gets killed during a mission, that's not permanent. Yay, now our Zeppelin can carry an additional group of mercenaries in. Alright, so now I've got another level 4 outbreak coming into play, which sets off a level 4 there. Not fun. Okay, what have we got? Infantry, landmines, artillery, Zed bait. I think I can work with that. Let's try and cool this zone off by going for a level 3. A lot of Zed coming in from every which way. And up to 10 scientists that I could save if I can play my cards right. It's hard to know where the best place for your infantry is sometimes. Actually, they should be closer to where the rescue helicopter is going to be sitting down. Use landmines up there to destroy some buildings. Maybe put some Zed bait down in the south. Actually, it's taken out a lot of the opposition. We got it. We liberated it. We got an upgrade for our Z-bait. Victory! Glorious victory. Okay, let's see. Z-bait. Z-bait. Let us boost up their lifetime. That sounds like a good way to go. Oh, another mission or two like that, and I'll have won this game. Oh, they're just shy of unlocking Zed mutates. Alright, swarm season. Longer daytime, more Zed, but I have landmines, artillery, and barricades. No upgrades I really want. Gonna have to deal with a lot of Zed with artillery, snipers, and landmines. More daytime to do it in. Let's go for level 2 outbreak. Try and contain some of these danger zones. Okay. So pretty straightforward here. Zed coming in from a couple of directions. Trick is placing my snipers where they're not going to get blown up. I'm not sure if that spot really does anything for me. So by going this way, I can keep the Zed from this side sort of funneling up into this cone. I can put one there to force the Zed over here to bunch up a bit more for my artillery's sake. There we go. Place a helicopter to grab the attention of as many scientists as possible. And we are good to go. Nice timing on that catbird. Zone pretty well. Gas main explosion will clear out this area pretty well as well. Victory! Upgrade for the landmines and the barricades. And both of those are straight up, you get more of them upgrades. Close to an upgrade for my snipers, but not quite there. Alright, very close to victory. Another mission will probably put us over. But the Zed are gonna get mutates for their next one. New giant Zeds. After months of rumor and misinformation, officials admit the existence of Mega Zeds. Reduced helicopter speed this time around. But I'm gonna have infantry, artillery, barricades, and dynamite. It's a pretty good combination. El Presidente provides arms for Dr. Adele Deering's mutiny. Take them out, the whole lot of them. Incorrigible, like a bunch of egg-sucking dogs. Okay. So we've got another level 4 outbreak there, but it's kind of sequestered, so nothing really to worry about with that. Kraken Bomb boosts all explosive weapons damage to Mega Zeds. Sure, why not? Alright, let's see. We got infantry, artillery, barricades, and dynamite. We almost have victory within our grasp. So let's grab another level 2 zone. See if we can put this to bed. Alright. Alright. So. Infantry down there to keep those spots in line. Funnel Zed towards them with barricades. That'll keep all of the Zed flooding towards this open courtyard area. Where they'll come into the teeth of my infantry. That barricade doesn't really do anything, but I don't have a better place to put it. Artillery nice and safe back there. Oh. And evac helicopter. Should be pretty safe next to my elite infantry and can pull cities out of harm's way. Okay, Mega Zed. There. Got that. Oh crap, lost my infantry. Okay, well. And I forgot to even put any dynamite down. Alright, let's redo this a little bit. Position my infantry a little bit farther back, and actually place dynamite this time around. And if I remember correctly, where the Mega Zeds come in is a little bit random, so this isn't necessarily going to help me all that much. Alright, so not a lot of civilians coming out of this alive, but they'll probably liberate the zone. Catbird in case we need it, which we might. We can probably get by without using it. territorial points might put me over the edge to victory with this. Let us find out. Yep, there we go. I've averted the Z apocalypse.
We annually spend on military
Glorious victory.
more than the net income.
Eisenhower's military-industrial complex speech playing in the background.
Yet we must not fail to comprehend.
I like the game a little bit better with a longer campaign and the ability to choose your mercenaries, because that gives you some nice options as far as focusing on certain mercenaries, refining your tactics, and having that the longer campaign, more points in order to win, gives you time to do more research, which is pretty nice. At the same time, it's not exactly the most difficult game in the world, so extending things out, making them longer, doesn't necessarily increase the challenge, and gets a little bit boring if you go for the 20,000 point campaign.
Steady progress toward our ultimate goal has been made, but so much remains to be done. So in this
Yeah, the storyline for this game is really just sort of told in bits and snippets and doesn't really attach together coherently, even if you do have all of the vignettes and you can check them all out.
find something worth it.
But it sort of takes place in the this weird fictional world that a lot of Blindo games takes place in. So I suppose if you chase the breadcrumbs through all of them, you might put things together into some kind of interesting effect. So as you can see, it gives you a little campaign log at the end if you want to be able to compare the outcomes of various campaigns. And here's your delightful credits. In case you were wondering what to look for in order to pick up that soundtrack. Alright, and we are going to call it good for tonight, I think, with that. If you would like to put in a request for some game for me to play next week, there should be a link to my Steam library in the description, along with a link to the donation page in case you feel like tossing some money towards Children's Miracle Network hospitals via my Extra Life page. At any rate, I will see you next week, and see you later.